Hey everyone, how are you? We're back, sort of back for once, back for now. No, we're back for good now, which is good. But geez, it's been a hard week. It's like I kept saying, like, it's like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and I can't believe I locked myself out of my house today. I went out there to take some recycling out, and the door slammed behind me, and I didn't realize I'd locked it and I couldn't get back in, and there was no one here. There was not a soul here at my apartment complex, which is bizarre. There's always someone here, and there was no one here. Tried to jump the back fence, but our back fences are so high that it was, and on the other side there's barbed wire, because we live next to a industrial place. So couldn't jump the back fence, couldn't jump my neighbor's fence because their fence is high too, and um, yeah, I ended up having to get a locksmith out. Ended up costing like $300. Bloody hell. I think it's because I rang 2 other guys and they weren't here. So, I mean, they weren't here. They were on holidays, so they couldn't do it. Yeah, camera's off for a second. Let me get set up and then I'll show you what's going on. The camera's not in the final spot. It'll get moved. We're gonna make it higher. Um, Rory wants to come visit. Rory, get down. Come on, girl. Get off. She wants to see. She wants to go on the new desk. Let me set this up and then we'll get going. Yeah, $300. It's pretty crazy. I bought like a lockpick set as soon as I got back inside, and I'm like, I'm going to teach myself to lockpick, and then I'm going to give my neighbor the lockpick set. So if it ever happens again, I'm just going to pick my own lock, because I ain't paying $300 again ever. All right. So you guys see? It's a blur's on. Sorry, guys. We still got some crap here. As you can see, there's a giant box behind me and stuff here. But you guys can see this is the new desk. Cameras here, but it's going to go up here. We're waiting for an extension arm so it can go over the screen because there's a screen right here. So it'll be over above here. And yeah, this is the new desk. I had to blur the background, or you guys will think I'm crazy, but I just haven't had enough time to clean all this crap up after only getting in here a couple of hours ago. But yeah, this will be the new setup, but a little bit higher. I don't like how low this is, so I want it to be above here when we get done with it. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Still some fiddling with it to do and stuff. I want you guys to be able to see the desk because the desk is really cool. There's a mouse mat here, and it has every country in the world, like it's a world map. And so if we ever get lost again, and we're like, "Where is Syria?" We'll be able to find it on this mouse pad. It's huge. It's like from here to here. So yeah, what a day. Yeah, it's nice to be off the. It's nice to be off the couch and be able to sit in this chair and just hang out. Well, that's a weird angle. I'm not used to all this yet. This is the first stream I've done with it. Yeah, I know. That's why it's going to be higher. Well, I ordered a Amazon extensiony thing for the table, so it can clamp to the table and go higher. So this is the only place we can put it at the moment, unfortunately. But tomorrow, I think it's coming tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be higher for the next show. So, hey, Dr. Edward, how are you two? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope your Christmas went well, or your Hanukkah, if that's what you celebrate. Hope you had a great break anyway. Took some time to yourselves. Um, yeah, I know tomorrow it'll be different. Okay, I am so far behind in what I wanted to do. This morning we were supposed to do the final stuff, like clean all this up, fix this, and then maybe do something with the camera. But being locked out, it ate up all my time today. So she's doing well. She's doing well. She's healing. Didn't end up needing surgery or plastic surgery for her eye. They said it should be fine. It'll heal. So that's fine. She's doing okay. Appreciate you asking though. Hey Nancy S, how are you? Hey, I hope I hope people have less stress than I do right now. It has been bonkers here. I don't know if Trish spoke to you about this, but this is quite an interesting case. This woman, Kirsten McWilliams, 15, and her boyfriend Jacob Warren, 17, disappeared people seem to be in a bit of a fluff looking for her. I just want to check that she hasn't been found, because it's my luck that I'll have this on my thing and then she's been found. I just double check. I don't think so. Let me just check here. Let me check the good old X, as we call her. No, it's still saying they reckon she's still missing. So, she's vanished after getting on a school bus. Pretty strange. And who goes missing on a school bus? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it says here the youngster missed Christmas and New Year, as well as a landmark birthday celebration. You know, they're the ones that always trigger me with these missing people cases, when people just don't come to family events and like something they would be there for sure. You know, it's always gets me. There's a photo of her and him. They look very nice. There's another photo of her. Oh, that's her mom. Geez, her mom looks way young, right? I almost thought it was her for a second. Police believe she willingly ran away with Warren, but they are growing concerned for her. Her mother, Raina, told KHOU her daughter has no money and not even a social security number with her to find work. Apparently, she's very sweet. She's athletic. She's very smart. She said it was not like her daughter to run away. In a message to her daughter, she said, "You can come home, you know that. So just come home and we'll figure all this out. You know we will because we do it all the time." This suggests to me that there's possibly some sort of friction in the home, some sort of like, argument, or just, teenage disagreements that they have with their parents. It says here, her mum and her relatives have been putting up flyers all over their neighborhood in a bid to bring her home, or to bring wider attention to the case, in the hopes of bringing her home. It's unclear how long she has been with her boyfriend. His family is yet to speak out about the disappearance. That's interesting. Do you reckon that means they're hiding her, or they know that she's somewhere with family, like their side of the family, or something like that? That's sort of what I get from that. That maybe they know where he is, and most likely she's with them. But there you go. There's a photo. A very nice, young-looking woman. Uh, but yeah, she said that's interesting. Vanished on December 15th and has since missed her own 16th birthday celebrations. That's interesting. That's a big birthday for young women. Isn't it like the big one in the States, Sweet 16? I would be very concerned if she didn't want to celebrate that. Right. I think so too, Jojo. I think it's possibly something going on there. Hey, Show. Good to see you too. Yeah, I hope tomorrow that I'll have a sleep and be able to get up and do more stuff, and this will all be cleaned, and then we will have no blur tomorrow and better camera angle. So it's a big move from my old location, so it'll take a couple of streams to get everything locked in and better. So yeah, everyone says they think so. Yeah, I think so too. I think odd for a 16-year-old or 15-year-old not to want to celebrate her sweet 16, and odd that the boyfriend's, family haven't come out and said, "Oh, he's not with us," or "She's not with us." We're just as concerned. We would like to find them as well. But since none of that has come out, that's a bit weird. So if we hear anything, I will let you know. I will. I don't know if Insightful One went through this with you, but I'm normally the one dishing out really cool, niche documentaries, but she found a really good one, and let me find it. Let me find it. It's from the Western Australian, and can we share this without it wanting to? Yeah. It's called Vanishing Cousins. I don't know if she told you about this on Web Sleuths, but this is such an interesting case. It's about two cousins, I think age 15 and 16, went missing after going to a pub in on a Sunday morning or a Sunday afternoon. Back then, pubs used to close very early apparently because the last time they were seen was like 6:45 p.m. when the pub closed. So really, I watched the first episode. It's available for free on YouTube. I watched number 5 too because that's available in one of their articles, but I haven't had a chance to watch the other 3. Really, really bizarre case. It's 50 years ago, so it was in the 1970s, and this is a sort of sketch fit that they've done of the one of the suspects. Three guys were seen hanging around them at the bar, and locals who went to the bar described them as out of towners or they didn't fit in. So that's very interesting. Some people thought they were fishermen, some people thought they were laborers, and to this day, neither of them have been found. Neither of them, no remains, no clues. These guys haven't come forward that were at the bar after they left that pub on the Sunday session. Not a word, not a sighting, nothing. Like they disappeared into thin air. And police at the time didn't take the call from family very seriously. They put it through as a missing persons case, but they didn't act on it. Then they handed it to homicide squad 6 or 9 months after they went missing, which at that point, any kind of information, remains, anything, any clues are long gone. And the family has waited 50 years to find out what happened to their relatives. And so far, they haven't had a lot of luck. Guys, give me 1 second. Miss Wowie is off she goes. Yeah, nothing. So the family's waited this long. I think the grandmother of the girl died not long ago, a few years ago. Um, is her mum died as well. A couple of them have unfortunately passed away without finding answers to what happened to their relatives. Um, I think a sister or something like that is still fighting for answers to today, and she appears in the documentary as well. Really, really interesting one. I hope it will get released in the United States under Hulu or something like that. And I hope that'll happen because it's really you can actually I think if you go to thewest.com.au, if you really really want to watch it, I'm not saying you should, you can buy a subscription to the West Australian, but it's so expensive. They want 28 bucks a month, and I don't think $28 is worth it to watch. I think it's like 4 or 5 13-minute episodes. I think that's quite expensive. They could have had like a little pack, like, $10, $15 to watch the documentary instead of forcing people to pay for a month subscription. So I hope it comes to Netflix or something for you. And thanks to Insightful One for forwarding that to me. I'd never heard of it before, and I live here. So really, really bizarre case. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. There's a there's a website for the girls. Hold on. Yeah, Raylene Eaton and Yvonne Waters were 16 and 17 at the time they went missing. There was Crime Stoppers. Here we go. It's bright white. Of course it is. Let me see. There was a Facebook thing too. There's a Facebook page. I don't know who owns this page or whatever, but there's a Facebook page called Help Find Raylene May Eaton and Yvonne K. Waters missing person, and they sometimes some of the family members come on here and talk, but you can see here there's a photo of them. There's another one, and this is apparently the car. This is a reproduction, and they think that this is the car they were last seen in, possibly with Queensland license plate. But in the documentary, a lady says she saw the car and it had a New South Wales license plate, not a Queensland one. So there's a little documentary on here from Today Tonight, a current affairs program down in Australia you can watch for free, and it'll have some interviews with this lady. She actually passed away, this one. This lady at the start, she's no longer with us, unfortunately. Yeah, but this is a pretty good source of information on this case here. I'll put it in the chat for you. There you go. If you'd like to research it a bit more. Let's see. Yeah, I know it's really late. Tomorrow we will be back to our normal schedule. I am so sorry. I really wish we were here earlier. I was so excited to be back here. And I was like, oh, we're going to be back on at 9 o'clock and it's going to be so much fun. Uh, it's one of those things. Let's talk about an American case. An American case? This is one we spoke about earlier or a while ago, I'm pretty sure. It's the murder of Billy Bonds and 44-year-old Guadalupe Bonds, Daryl Bonds, and Matthew Bonds. Hold on. Let me find this link. There we go. So it says, Chief says teen arrested in violent quadruple homicide in Reedley did not act alone. I hope. Maybe they find the other people. It says the 17-year-old who inflicted substantial violent wound injuries, resulting in 4 deaths in Reedley, did not act alone, according to the police chief. The 17-year-old, who has not been officially identified, was arrested alongside 2 other suspects. His mother, 34-year-old Bryn Curtis, and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Rafael Gonzalez, in Reedley on Tuesday. The 2 adults are accused of being accessories to the homicide and have already bonded out of jail. The arrest came after 3 people were found dead in a home in the 1100 block of South Church Avenue in Reedley on Saturday. I'm probably saying it wrong. And another person was found dead at the home next door on Tuesday. That's like a real life horror movie. It's like one house is full of dead people, and then the next door neighbor is dead as well, and the cops find it, and then the investigation starts. Sounds like one of those terrible horror type movies. It says here, of the victims found at the first home on Monday, police identified 2 of them as 81-year-old Billy Bonds and 44-year-old Guadalupe Bonds, both living at the home at the time of the incident. The third victim was identified as Daryl Bonds, 61 years old. Wow. When the search warrant was served at the home next door on Tuesday, the 17-year-old suspect did attempt to flee police. A subsequent search warrant of the home found property that police say had been taken from the victim's home, as well as the body of one of the victims, later identified as Matthew Bonds, 43 years old. They said also 3 vehicles have been taken by investigators for further analysis in connection with the case. 1 taken following a search warrant served on Tuesday in Selma, and 2 taken following a search warrant served on Tuesday in Parlia. Chief Joe Garza believes the 17-year-old did not act alone. We know there are other people possibly involved in this. My belief is the 17-year-old did not commit this on his own, so we are actively searching for other suspects. Other people with information that may know what occurred may have direct information on what occurred, and we will not stop our investigation until this investigation comes to a complete closure. There's a photo of the crime scene, I guess, with forensic lab techs on the scene and a undercover police car. It says here the specific cause of death for each of the 4 victims has not been officially released by the Fresno County Coroner's Office. In addition to the 3 detained on Tuesday, multiple weapons were recovered from the home. Pursuant to California law, a minor who is over the age of 16 is only eligible to be transferred to adult court upon the order of the court. That's according to the DA's office in a statement. The 17-year-old suspect's detention hearing is set for Thursday inside the juvenile division of the Fresno County Superior Court. Bizarre. I mean, sounds like maybe it's like some sort of family feud that's gone really, really bad. Is this the sheriff here? Let's have a look.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joe Garza, Garza. I am the Chief of Police for the city of Reedley. And this press conference this afternoon is to get everybody up to date to where we are at in our investigation. As you recall, on Saturday, January 6th, the Reedley Police Department uh, responded to 1151 South Church Avenue here in the city of Reedley, which is a residential area on the south end of town, for what initially came across as a burglary that had occurred. Upon our arrival, officers began their investigation. They did see signs of a burglary that had occurred, and when they went inside the residence, they and the reason we were there and the family was there, the families who called us initially about the burglary, and they said that the four occupants of that residence had been unaccounted for. They had not been able to get in contact. So when we got there, we did not locate anybody at that residence. And as the officers made their way into the house to conduct their investigation, they found what appeared to be signs of a violent crime that had occurred inside of that residence. And so that's what prompted officers to back out of that, because at this point we did not know what we were dealing with. Were we dealing with a home invasion? Were we dealing with a kidnapping? Were we dealing with just something really bad that occurred? But there were signs of a violent crime that had occurred there. The officers backed out, began just checking some of the other buildings to check for anybody that may be on that property, and they went into the garage and they found a safe that it appeared to be pried open. So again, that just kind of heightened our situation, and we knew that something bad had happened at that residence. So we backed out as per our protocols and procedures, and we initiated a search warrant, the processing for a search warrant at that residence. Once that residence we received the search warrant authority to go into that residence. Our officers and detectives made their way into the residence, and again, finding signs of a violent crime that had occurred inside of that residence. They went and looked at the safe, and they did, in fact, find that that safe had been pried open. It was violently pried open. So obviously began that was the initial stage of the investigation. We then began searching the rest of the property that day after that search warrant. So there was a delay from the time we got there to the time we actually started searching the property because of the need of that search warrant. The officers began searching the backyard, and they found in the backyard two bodies that were in the back part of that residence. They were later identified as Billy Bonds and Guadalupe Bonds, who had been previously identified as victims. Uh, that obviously continued. We then turned that investigation into a homicide. It did turn into a homicide at that point. As the investigation continued and we began canvassing the backyard for further evidence, we did notice what appeared to be freshly dug earth, or what appeared to be freshly moved, disturbed dirt. So going on some hunches, going on some just some thoughts, and just being ensuring that we are very thorough in our investigation, we begin slowly excavating that area by hand. During that time, we did locate what appeared to be a body part of a person, and so that obviously allowed us or told us to continue digging. And painstakingly, our officers dug by hand, and by utilizing hand tools, we were able to dig out and determine that there was a body inside of inside of there that was buried there. That person obviously was deceased. I can tell you now that that person has been identified. We have been received confirmation on the identity of that third person as Daryl Bonds. Um, Daryl Bonds is age 61 and a resident of 1151 South Church. So obviously now this investigation became a triple homicide that we were investigating. There was a fourth person that was unaccounted for, Matthew Bonds, and so based on family information, we believe that he was an at risk. We did not know what was going on. We didn't obviously come into a violent crime, and our fear was that he was either kidnapped and or something had happened to him. So our focus became to attempt to locate Matthew as well, because he did have some health issues that were reported to us.
They're saying that he has like health issues. Um, I mean, that was from Matthew. The whole thing sounds messed up when you listen to some of these details. And Dr. Ed and Julie say this is very sad. 17-year-old prays for the family. And Tina, hey Tina, good to see you. Sadly, this child probably had a very disturbing childhood, damaged him forever. I think we'll find out a lot more as the case continues. And it's odd. We've seen a lot more of these type of child or adolescent killings. It's become sort of common. We've seen a lot of them. I don't know what the science behind it is or the psychology, but we're seeing more. I don't know if we're seeing more. It's just being reported a lot more. Hey, Beth B, where are you? Oh, there we go. Hello, good to see you. Thanks for being here, Beth B. I'm glad. Hey, Petunia made it too. Hey, Petunia, good to see you. It's good to see you. Yeah. If we get more information on this one, I will let you know. But really, really bizarre.
Yes.
Let me stop that. Yeah, I like this photo. I guess if this was your neighborhood, you would guess that something terribly wrong had happened. You see this yellow tape and the forensic lab. You know it's not a break-in. Something really horrible has happened. Let me search. We don't have the name of the 17-year-old. His name has not been released through the juvenile court as of yet. He may get upgraded to the adult court, but like they said, it has to come from direction from the court itself. They can't do it. They're on their own. So let's have a look. Bryn Curtis. Let's have a look and see anything for Bryn. ABC 30. Let's have a look. 17-year-old, 2 adults arrested, found dead in Reedley neighborhood.
Tonight in connection to 4 deaths in a quiet Reedley neighborhood. Police say a 17-year-old is the one who killed all 4 people. The teen is the son of 34-year-old Bryn Curtis, who was also taken into custody alongside her boyfriend, 21-year-old Rafael Gonzalez, on charges of accessory after the fact.
The first 3 bodies were found at a home on Church Avenue in Reedley on Saturday. The 4th victim was discovered this morning at the house next door.
Action News anchor Nick Garcia has been covering this story since it broke on Saturday. He joins us now live from Reedley with a stunning update. Nick?
Well, Margot Warren, this investigation has grown significantly since those first victims were discovered on Saturday. It's now crossed city lines. This morning, police served a search warrant at this house here in Reedley. Search warrants were also served at houses in nearby cities, Parlier and Selma.
A break in the mysterious case of the killing of 4 people in Reedley. Saturday morning, the bodies of 81-year-old Billy Bonds, 44-year-old Guadalupe Bonds, and a 3rd person were found at this house on Church Avenue. Family later gave Action News access to the backyard where at least 2 of the bodies were found, showing our cameras what appears to be a shallow grave.
Sorry, what? Did you just see that? Here, come into my backyard and let me show you the shallow grave that's left behind. You know, I like to show everyone this. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, that's something you see in a movie or something. And that must be what the people left behind are living. But that's just gruesome, right? California, I'm pretty sure. ABC 30. Let me double check. Our friends in ABC 30 are in Cali, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I think that's correct. Reedley. Yeah, Calif. Reedley, California. Just want to double check. Where is it in California? Let's have a look. Okay, it's sort of near Orange Grove, southwest of Fresno. No, southeast of Fresno. Southeast of Fresno is that town, Reedley. And it's near some of the other towns mentioned in the press conference, like Parlier, and I think there was another one. I saw it on the map. Selma. There's a few others. Yeah, so it's not too far from the city of Fresno, California. Let's see what else they have to say about this hole in the backyard.
They believe was dug for one of the victims.
Devastated. This is terrible. any family has to go through this, let alone my family.
Investigative leads led our police department to author 3 search warrants, one here in the city of Reedley, one in the city of Parlier, and one in the city of Selma.
This is the house searched in Selma, where a vehicle police say is connected to the case was found. This house in Parlier also has a related vehicle. Both have been impounded. On Tuesday morning, a 4th body was found in the detached garage of the neighboring house in Reedley. Police now say the killer was also right next door. A 17-year-old boy was arrested for all 4 homicides. Authorities say his mother, 34-year-old Bryn Curtis, and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Rafael Gonzalez, were also arrested for accessory after the fact.
We have had some phenomenal detective work being done over the last 24 and 48 hours.
Reedley City Manager Nicole Ziba says she understands the typically quiet neighborhood is likely on edge by the news of these crimes.
It does not appear in any way that this was a random crime, a random set of crimes. And so I would want our community to understand that they are safe.
It's just heart-wrenching that something like this is happening. There's a lot of questions that are still left unanswered.
Among those unanswered questions, why the 17-year-old would kill his neighbors.
There you go, from ABC News 30 out of California. That's really interesting. I was thinking something then. They said the teen's mother is 34-year-old Bryn Curtis. She must have had him quite young, right? So 17, that's a 13. So what, she was about 17, 18 herself when she had her son, the one who committed the murder? So unless my math is being bad, but that could be true. Yeah, no, 17 or something. So pretty close. 17, 16, 17, 18, something like that. Yeah, because the mum looked quite young in the footage that they had. It's that hole in the ground that they just left there though, and then invited a news camera to come in and see it. It's bizarre. Maybe they're just in shock. That's what I reckon. They must be in shock, and they don't know what else to do. Let's see. I thought I saw someone in the chat. Hey, Whiskey Boots. Oh, where's my hand? Hey, good to see you. It's nice to see you. Burnt popcorn. Hey, how's it going? Oh, that could be true. Burglarizing. Tina says, "What's up with parents covering for their children?" Didn't we listen to a case last week where the parents had covered? Oh, it was Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerrero. The people who were charged over the murder were a husband and wife and their son. Son committed the murder, and the mom and dad helped cover up the murder, move the bodies. I don't know what else they did to the bodies, but they've got abuse of corpse charges and mutilation of a corpse. So they also were helping cover up for their son. Yes, the Soto case. It's awful. I just cannot get the young woman and her baby out of my mind. I think it's so horrible. Like, that life was due to be brought into the world within hours. Like, literally hours. She was just about to be induced, and then it's snuffed out like a match. It's gone. Never happened. It's she carried that baby for over 9 months, and it never got to come into the world. I think that's tragic. Really is tragic, and I hope they upgrade their charges to include that. I really do. I don't know if I ever said thank you to these two people because we weren't on air at the time, but Leisha, my friend Leisha, EDM Leisha, and my friend Cheetah No More both sent in donations last week, and I hadn't had a chance to say thank you. And I wanted to make sure I caught up with that for them because they are very kind. And, we've been off air for about 4 or 5 days. Gizmo, hey Gizmo, good to see you. I Hate Morning says, "It's always wonder how some teenage mothers can raise amazing kids and others totally fail." I mean, you think some teenage mums probably understand the adversity and the hurdles that they've overcome being a teenage mum, and they pass that on to their children, the resilience and the thick skin, so to speak. And maybe the others, I'm not sure, just are traumatized and victimized from being so young and having the child, maybe bad circumstances, who knows. But it is awful to read about. If we get a name or anything about this case, I'll let you know tomorrow when we are on the air. I think this is crazy to have quadruple homicide. The only thing I can think of that's even close to this is the one in Australia a few years ago, but it's a different set of circumstances. The one in Australia about a decade ago now, it was a young man had unrequited love of a female, and instead of moving on with his life and understanding that rejection does happen, you can't always sleep with every girl that you desire. It's just a fact of life, and if it's unrequited, then you just have to move on. He decided to go into her home, murder, challenge, and kill the female's dad, mother, and then went upstairs and sexually assaulted her while she was dying from stab wounds. He stabbed the entire family to death. One of the detectives said the house looked like something out of one of the horror movies, and that they were unable to walk in their booties because the carpet was so drenched. Very, very horrible crime. Hey, good to see you too, Gizmo. Hey, Woos is here. Hey, Woos. I hate when it says I be seen the worst, most selfish, and have great kids, and vice versa. Yeah, I think it's just random, or just how people are brought up or something. I don't know. I don't pretend to be a psychologist in a child, adolescence or whatever. It's not something I know a great deal about, but I know that some kids just react better to certain situations and some don't. Might have something to do with it. Jojo, hey Jojo. Jojo says her mom was a teen mom and was amazing, and her dad was a bit older. That might have been the difference. Maybe your dad was like a stabilizing force in your family unit. Could possibly be. All right. It's nice to be back and reading stories. I feel like I haven't had a chance to do that in a week. Has everyone seen what's going on over in the Middle East tonight? I got all these alerts on my phone this afternoon about some sort of revenge bombing sort of thing, retaliation for attacking oil tankers in a certain part of the world. They're attacking shipping tankers, and the military and stuff decided to finally step in and make it known that they're not happy about the situation. So that was all over social media a few hours ago. Apparently, a 6-year-old girl was shot dead by a loaded unsecured gun left on top of a PlayStation. KXAS. What is that, Kansas? Let's have a look. Yeah, child 6 killed in shooting while mother was away planning teen son's funeral. Oh my lord. Says teen accused of tampering, arrested on outstanding warrants, tells police he brought 2 guns into the home and left one on top of a PlayStation. Let's have a look. Wait, is that paused? Pause that. It says a 6-year-old girl was fatally shot in an old East Dallas apartment on Wednesday while her mother was away making funeral arrangements for her teenage son, who was also killed by gun violence. Dallas police said officers were called to a shooting about 2:40 p.m. in the 2100 block of North Fitzhugh Avenue and arrived to find an injured child. The 6-year-old was taken to Children's Medical Center in Dallas, where she later died about 3:20 p.m. The girl was identified Thursday by the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office as Aylana Ross. According to police, the girl was inside the home with 2 adults, 2 juveniles, and an unsecured firearm when she was shot. Police said Thursday morning that they were still working to determine exactly how it happened. A woman who said she was the child's aunt told police the girl's mother was at a funeral home at the time of the shooting, making arrangements to bury her 14-year-old son, Braylon Ryder. According to Dallas police, Ryder died after he was found shot near Harry Hines in Oak Lawn on December 29th. Dallas police have not released any other information about Wednesday's shooting. Police have also not announced any arrests with charges related to the girl's death, but did say 19-year-old Demaria Sowles was arrested and charged for tampering with evidence on an unrelated outstanding warrants. According to an arrest warrant affidavit obtained by NBC5 on Thursday during an interview at the Children's Advocacy Center after the shooting, Sowell admitted to police he brought 2 guns into the home, including a Glock 40 and a Mac 10, that he placed on top of a PlayStation in the 3rd floor bedroom. He said after the shooting, he went into the bedroom and put the Mac 10 that was involved in the shooting in his backpack along with the handgun. Sowles police said, then hid the backpack in a garage before police arrived, intending to impair its availability as evidence in the investigation of the shooting. So that's probably where the evidence tampering comes from. Maybe. They did say it was unrelated, but I'd say that is related. The backpack and the guns were later found by crime scene investigators who were searching the home. According to court records, he is being held on bonds totaling $100,000 and was wanted for evading arrest and unlawful carrying of a weapon. It's not clear if Sowles was or has obtained an attorney to speak on his behalf. Marika Boyd, who lives 2 doors down from the victim, told NBC5 the child was a sweet little girl who had played with her own children. That hurt, she said, after learning the child had died of her injury. She also said, God, there's a plan behind all this. I'm trying not to cry. I'm shaking right now. The investigation into Wednesday's shooting is ongoing. Very sad. Another child dies. Very, very horrible. Let's watch this little video from NBC DFW, Dallas Fort Worth.
There were several children and an unsecured gun. It happened in Old East Dallas along North Fitzhugh Avenue. Our Allie Spoilert has been there at the scene throughout the day, talking with neighbors and family. Allie, what have they told you?
Brittany, they told me that this tragedy happened amid another one. Tonight, that little girl's aunt told me that the 6-year-old's mother at the time of the shooting was at a funeral home preparing to lay another one of her children to rest, a 14-year-old who was shot and killed just before the new year. Tonight, unthinkable loss in the heart of Old East Dallas.
I'm trying to not cry, actually. I'm not. I'm trying to hold it in. I'm shaking right now.
Dallas police say a 6-year-old girl shot at home died after being rushed to a nearby hospital. Investigators don't yet know how the little girl was shot, but say she was inside with several other children and an unsecured firearm.
Everything's a shock.
Markia Boyd lives a couple of doors down, where she says the little girl used to play with her daughter.
It hurts because I have a 7-year-old, and I seen the little girl. When I do see them, going to school and stuff, it is sad.
For family, today brings more heartache. The child's aunt told NBC5 that at the time of the shooting, the little girl's mom was at a funeral home, making arrangements to bury her 14-year-old son, Braylon Ryder. Dallas police say Ryder died after he was found shot near Harry Hines in Oak Lawn on December 29th. Tonight, they continue to investigate his sister's death as family prepares to lay another child to rest. Now, police say that a 16-year-old was arrested and charged with manslaughter in Ryder's death. In the case of the 6-year-old, tonight they aren't releasing any other information, and they have not said whether any charges will be filed. Back to you.
Yeah, it is very sad, right? Yeah, sorry, someone brought up the blurred background. I just put Vaseline over the lens because I wanted to look pretty today. No, I'm just kidding. Background's blurred until I can clean all the massive mess I made by building this desk and moving stuff around. It'll be clean tomorrow and then I can turn it off. Yeah, I can turn it off tomorrow, and then we'll be back. We'll be back to normal, and the camera will be in a different location, so you guys will be able to see the keyboard a bit better and the desk and me, I guess, if that's your thing. It's good to see you, Kathy J. I hope you're having a great new year. Hey Jojo, good to see you. Um, very sad. I mean, anytime we have gun crime or gun deaths where it's a little child, I mean, they don't know any better. They just pick it up and think it's a toy, and off it goes, and that's it. I don't know what else you can say about it, except for that guy was a bit dodgy, right? I mean, how is your first thought about you and not about the child? His first thought was, oh, I better hide that gun in case I get in trouble. Not, hey, let's try and get the child some help after being shot with the firearm I left lying around. This is where a lot of people have issues because it's a responsibility thing. If you're going to have firearms, then you got to be responsible. And leaving your firearm on top of a PlayStation is not responsible gun ownership. I mean, I don't feel one way or the other about owning a firearm. Just that if you do, you should at least do the right thing with it and not allow children to grab a hold of them and play with them. It says I said this one was sent to me via. I want to make sure it's the right person. I'm pretty sure it's DJ, but I want to just check it's the right person. Otherwise, last time I did this, I attributed it to the wrong guy. No. Yes, it was DJ. He'll catch this on the replay. But apparently, they're looking for a victim. Trish might have talked about this, but I want to talk about it as well. They're looking for another victim from the happy face killer. The woman that he described as Claudia is a white woman who stood about 5 feet 6 inches tall. Let's see if I can find a better link for it. Here we go. Here's a photo of what they think she looks like. I think this is a DNA composite, and based on her what DNA they do have, I think. Yeah, composite rendering showing 1992 Jane Doe murder victim. Still to this day, what is it, 30 years later, 31 years later, they still don't know who she might be. These are the cases that get me. There must be someone out there who's missing a daughter, a friend, an auntie, a niece, a sister, a best friend, someone, work friends. Like, that's always gets me, right? Someone they met, it's that type of thing. It says more than 30 years after a woman died violently at the hands of the happy face killer, Riverside County investigators are close to a breakthrough in identifying her, but they're seeking the public's help. The serial killer, whose name is Keith Hunter Jesperson, boasted of killing the woman and 7 other female victims in the early 1990s, sending letters to the police about his exploits that he signed with a smiley face. He referred to the woman he killed in Riverside as Claudia, but investigators have never been able to confirm her identity. They said, "Our goal is to identify this victim and provide closure to her family wherever they may be. We are hopeful someone hearing any of these details may remember anything that could help us reunite this woman with her family, who may have been looking for her over the 3 decades." Jesperson has been in custody since 1995, pleaded guilty to murdering this Jane Doe in 2010. According to authorities in his confession, Jesperson said he met the victim in August 1992 at a brake check area along Highway 15 south of Victorville. A brake check area. Is that like a truck thing? A brake check area. Let's see what. A brake check area allows drivers to check that their brakes are working properly, but also allows them to cool down their brakes. Wow, I've never heard of these type of things before. What is a brake check? What do you do there? I want to see what it is. Is it like just a road that you can park on, or is it something you can do? I don't think we have these in Australia. Oh, okay. It's just like a like a side area that you can pull off the main highway type thing. Okay. It's sort of like for trucks and things like that. I've never seen one before. You can check hydraulic, air brake. Oh, it's just like you should get out, disconnect your brakes, check them, see if they're hot. They have like a brake checklist there. Okay. Never heard of it before. Jesperson had been working as a long-haul truck driver. The woman hitched a ride with him, saying she was going to Los Angeles, but Jesperson had been headed southeast towards Arizona on his truck route. He drove her to South Cabazon and then a rest stop in Coachella Valley, where Jesperson killed her in his truck after a dispute about money. He then drove 7 miles north of Blythe along Highway 95 and disposed of the woman's body on the side of the road. Her remains were discovered on August 30, 1992. The woman was described by Jesperson as in her 20s, about 5'6", 140 to 150 pounds. She had shaggy blonde hair and a tattoo of 2 dots on the left side of her thumb on her right hand. She was wearing a t-shirt with a motorcycle on it when her body was found. Forensic investigators using DNA evidence and genealogists have determined the woman's biological father, now dead, hailed from Cameron County in Texas. Her mother remains unidentified, but could have been from Louisiana or southeast Texas. Investigators have contacted several people they believe to be half-siblings of the woman, though they told investigators they were not aware of her and could not identify her. Well, if they're half-siblings of her, couldn't they provide a DNA test? And then they would be able to say it's from this side of the family or that side of the family, or you guys aren't related at all, so we must have the wrong family. I find that interesting. I mean, even if they were half-siblings, maybe she was like an illegitimate child type thing. Like maybe the mom and dad had like a a short relationship or something out of marriage. Maybe one of them was cheating on their spouse or something. They could still be half siblings, but they may not know each other or may have never heard of each other because it was kept a secret. So, and I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. So I find it interesting that they just said they weren't interested and couldn't identify her. Well, your DNA could help identify her. Yeah, so that's a photo of her. She looks very, I mean, I think we've all seen a girl that looks like that. I know I have. Let's see. Hey, Woos, see you later. Good to see you. Hey, Candy Williams, good to see you as well. I don't think she was, unless she's been identified in the last 2 days. Let me see. Maybe I have my wrong information. Maybe DJ sent me the wrong information. No, he doesn't send wrong information. Hold on. I've got too many links up and now I can't find it anymore. No, that's not it. Now I can't find it. Here we go. Here we go. What did they call her? They called her Claudia Jane Doe. Apparently there was another sketch of her, like a different sketch done. This was another sketch of her that was done at some point. Like that. I think these might be his sketches, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of these people that did prison drawings to help investigators identify his victims. So what does it say? She had a grey t-shirt with a picture of a skeleton riding a motorcycle. Like what's his, like the comic book character? Maybe that? Her body was found under brush in the desert north of Blythe, California. It was 100 feet from Highway 95. Jesperson claimed she accepted truck truck rides and wanted to go to Phoenix, Arizona. He allegedly picked her up at brake check area off I-15 in Cajun Pass, drove her around San Bernardino. The victim had already traveled through Los Angeles and Las Vegas. That's interesting. In the other story we read, it said that she wanted to go to Los Angeles and that he was headed to Phoenix, Arizona, along his truck route. So that's interesting. That's very interesting that has a completely different story. All right. Hey, Dr. Ed. Dr. Ed and Julie say, I might be wrong, but have seen them when I lived in California. As you drive, they are located on the right side of the highway, elevated. As trucks lose brake system, you can. Oh, is that what it is? I've seen those. They're like a brake fail thing, and it's like a steep hill with gravel on it, so that if a truck loses their brakes, they can drive into it, and because of the steep embankment and the gravel, it like stops it, like so they can't keep going. I've seen those. I've just never seen a brake check area before. I've seen the emergency, emergency kind of stop thing before. Oh, that's okay. You can have it mixed up with someone else. That's all right. Yeah, bye, Woos. I hope your cat is less demanding. Give me 1 second. All right. I think we might start wrapping up. But we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back. I've got how many makeup shows do I have to do? Like 400. 400. No, Susan R. Hey, Susan R. Susan R says, you're good at keeping us in suspense. We'll have to tune in tomorrow to finally get to see your new studio. I'm going to take away like 1 pixel at a time every day for 900 days. No, I'm not going to do that. You guys can see it tomorrow. I just, I want to like fix this and that, and I want to put these bags away and stuff. So it was good to see you, Dr. Ed. It was really good to see you and Julie. I hope you are both doing well where you are. And yeah, I haven't heard from you in a couple of months. I really do hope everything is going well on your side of the world. Lovely people who always drop by and pay me a visit every so often. And yeah, yeah, thanks, Kim. I appreciate it, Tina. And who else we got? Tina, Kim, Candy was here, Woos was here, Kathy J was here. Susan R made it too. Good to see Susan R. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. Danny Mitchell says, I never let kids at my house even use PlayStation guns. It's probably a good, my mom never let me play with guns either. When I was a kid, she said that it was too violent and that I would get a liking for them. So I was never allowed to have anything that looked like a gun. Woos was here earlier. Who else was here? Sienna was here earlier. She had to go. That's okay. Thanks, Sienna. It was really lovely to see you. Gambler was here, Nanalana. Jojo, Marilyn Landis, Burnt Popcorn, Gizmo. Trying to see if we're missing anyone. I Hate Mornings made it. Whiskey Boots. Hey, Whiskey Boots. Glad that you could make it. Just trying to so we don't miss out on anyone. Oh, our friend Mel Mack was here earlier. Marlene Clausen, Cheryl Huffman, it was even here. But that's okay. I will see you all tomorrow. Hey, Petunia. Petunia was here. And I'm so happy to be back and doing shows again. I mean, it was a long week, everyone. I don't like being away that long. And I hope I never have to move locations for streaming again. It was a real hassle. It was a lot of work. So, yeah. Yeah, we should be done by tomorrow. If I didn't lock myself out of the house today, I probably would have got it finished by 9 p.m. But I'm gonna have a nap. I'm so tired. You try finding a way into your own home when you don't have a key because you don't want to call a locksmith. You try everything and anything. Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll be on. That's 1 p.m. Australian time, and we'll be back. And all I can say is, go Niners in the playoffs, and I hope they get to the Super Bowl this year. That's it. I think that's it. Let me check one thing before we go. And yeah, I hope we get to see Sean the Sheep. I hope he's all right. I know on Fridays he's quite busy, so yes, that'd be very kind if people could hit the like button. And I hope the 3 people who unsubscribed because I didn't do a show in the week, I hope you come back, and I hope you understand the reasons why we were moving areas, and then we had a situation today where I locked myself out. So we'll be back to our normal routine from tomorrow, but also next week. Next week we'll have your regular 6 shows a week, including Sunday nights with Ping. So until tomorrow, 9 p.m. tomorrow, I'll see you then. Thank you everyone for dropping by tonight. I know it's super late. If you're going to catch it on the replay, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, be back tomorrow for more true crime at 9. See you later, everyone. There you go. Bye.